If you start to wonder if there's something that doesn't smell right here, well, good, you've got a good sense of smell. Don't let anybody call you a conspiracy theorist for just saying, I wonder if when you stop wondering ifs, then you're done for, I'm afraid. You're into Disneyland. So here, another one here too, sustainability, drivers and implications for agribusiness. Well, policymakers have not targeted the agribusiness sector as much as other sectors due to less public pressure. We believe sustainability regulations will become tighter for agribusinesses in the coming years. And it goes on and on and on with the agenda. These are articles that are mainstream articles on sustainability and so on. There's lots of them out there, big foundations, all paid by even bigger foundations to push the global agenda for those who don't quite catch on. And so they might cut down the greenhouse gases. Now, most greenhouse gases out there is actually what comprise of water vapor, for those who don't know it. CO2 is a trace gas. Trace gas. Which is invisible, completely invisible. Carbon dioxide. You breathe out your carbon-based life forms. If you want to cut it back, you understand you're cutting back yourselves, ultimately. I hope you understand that. Anything that lives on this planet is carbon-based. So we're living in an amazing science fiction movie combined with madness, because if you believe it all and can put it all together and still believe it and go along with what they're pushing, you'd have to be mad. You understand that? I hope you understand that. You'd have to be mad. H.G. Wells, I've mentioned him so many times, and he's a big promoter for the global elite of his day. In the late 1800s, H.G. Wells first was picked actually to be a good propagandist for the agenda, and eventually for the Fabian Society, which he helped co-found. He was a big proponent of free love, they called it, in the late 1800s. No responsibilities, free love, yeah. The same agendas as Karl Marx. Isn't that astonishing, eh? But he worked for the global elite. I think so did Marx, personally, but that's the agenda, you see. And then he became a propagandist, and he said, well, you know, we give help to the poor and unfortunates, and London was full of poor unfortunates, and across England too at that time, and Scotland, in the working class areas. Because in the early days there was no welfare system if you got sick or ill or anything. In fact, the wives had to go down the mines with the children to take the place of the miners. I'm talking up into the start of the 20th century for those who don't know this. When the man was sick, they'd have to go down and do it, and because if he didn't, and no one stood in his place, he lost his job if he was lucky enough to recover. That's reality. And H.G. Wells really said, oh, what happens with these poor unfortunates? He says, well, we feed them and we give them healthy food and warmth and so on, and clothe them properly and give them good hygienic conditions. And what do they do? He says they breed. You understand, he saw them as a separate species. Well, that's how the elite see you today, folks. They're in the know, in the understanding of the poor unfortunates of the general population who will never figure this out. And the poor unfortunates of today would actually be called middle class by last century's, even previous centuries' levels of understanding. But you see, if you're not in the know with the ones at the top, you see, then you're nobody. Power is an incredibly addictive thing to these psychopaths. They crave it. And if they can't get a start of it, they'll make the start by creating an organization and climbing up it until they're dominating you. And that's what's happened, of course. But you're supposed to just be the general public, watch your TV, dress the way they tell you to dress, wear drainpipe pants, you see. Have hair that's just a little tuft on top of your head if you're a guy, like a round circle, and watch television and watch all your reality stuff and be content. There you go. Don't think too much, because then you might be a problem. You might start demanding things like answers, and that's taboo.